A bill moving through the state legislature could reduce the number of wrongful convictions. It would require law enforcement agencies to turn over all information that might show a defendant is not guilty. State Senator Royce West sponsored the bill, which passed the Senate unanimously. Fox 4's Sean Rabb in the newsroom with the story. Sean.
And Clarice, current laws require prosecutors to turn over everything they have to the defense, but not law enforcement, who sometimes don't disclose everything discovered in an investigation. Proponents call it a big step in criminal justice reform and transparency.
I think it's a great step.
Richard Miles spent 15 years in prison for murder he did not commit. Excited about legislation by State Senator Royce West that'll require law enforcement to provide a written statement making sure all documents, items, and information required to be disclosed have been transmitted to the state. Officers who don't could face disciplinary action. Miles convicted and sent away at age 19, but what was hidden from prosecutors and Miles could have turned the case. Investigative information that a woman told detectives an ex-boyfriend told her he shot 2 black males at a Texaco near Bachman Lake, and that the police had arrested someone, but that they had the wrong person.
That information was not discovered until over a decade later, after Richard Miles had already been wrongfully convicted.
Mike Ware is executive director of the Innocence Project of Texas. That group worked to have the wrong done to Richard Miles made right. Ware says the bill will make a difference.
The system is going to be more fair. Less innocent people are going to be convicted of crimes they had nothing to do with.
So many times when we looked at cases of wrongful convictions, we found issues where exculpatory evidence was not turned over.
Russell Wilson is in private practice now, but headed up the Conviction Integrity Unit in the Craig Watkins administration.
What this has to impress on them is give us the whole truth, not just the information that supports the case, but also the information that weighs against the case, and let a judge or a jury decide those issues. But when you prevent the defense from having that material, you directly impact somebody's ability to have a fair trial.
Richard Miles doesn't see the years he spent in prison as lost.
In a strange way, it was worth it. And it's, I think the more things that can come out that can save other people, if that 15 years was what I had to go through, if it was a sacrifice, I know a story of a man that died for all. And so that death was worth it.
Another big bill by State Senator Royce West. District Attorney John Creuzot, out of state, initially came up with this idea. He sent me an email today through his office saying that he met with chiefs of police here in Dallas County who are on board with him about this, and if the measure passes, it'll create the legal obligation, Clarice, for the police to turn everything over to DAs who can then give it to the defendants.